I'm just gonna let this sit over here. We'll move on to something else, but if it, just don't let me forget about it, because that would be bad.
We'll see the smoke.
Yeah.
The kids will signal us. They have a signal for smoke because it's happening. Okay.
Okay, so there's a cheese grater that Pampered Chef had for years. It had 2 barrels that you can do like wide, wide shreds or like fine like this. And they redesigned it. And so, are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right.
Okay, me too. So this actually can be made for a left-handed person or a right-handed person.
Neat.
All
They were
dishwashers
really
say
thinking,
they totally were. They expanded the barrel so that your cheese doesn't get. I used to have one that the cheese would all get stuck, and you have to like take this off. And, no, you don't have to do that. And it's got an extra big hopper. Okay. Can you think of anything else that you would put in here besides cheese? Totally putting you on the spot. It's so fun.
This is hard. I'm sure there's a lot of things. What else would you put in there?
You could put chocolate in there.
Oh,
You could put croutons in there to make like something to dredge your chicken in. Breadcrumbs, right? You can put nutmeg in there. You can put ginger in there. Pretty much anything you would microplane you can put in here. And I'm going to have you do this because I want you to try it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do it right over here and just give it a spin.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Very easy. Yeah.
So, and you don't have to do it all. I just wanted you to test it out and show you how it works. And our potatoes are probably done. And I hear bubbling. So I'm going to go.
Okay, everything's getting done at once.
Everything's happening. This is the way of the world. My very first Pampered Chef show ever, I did for actually another teacher here. And I had this cutting board that has, get spit out. I had a cutting board that has measuring cups on the side. It's a great Pampered Chef tool. But you know like how Rachel Ray does the garbage bowl thing? So I had sliced up onions and all my garbage bowl items were over in the in the like the measuring cups on the cutting board. And usually when you cook, and I was in someone's living room, and I picked up the cutting board by the side where the by the measuring cups, and the measuring cups popped out, and it was like a fountain of red onions. I was like, so sorry about your living room,
That's gonna
That was my
smell
very
for a while.
first Pampered Chef show. So hey, we're all human. So since this is going in soup, I tend to make these pretty well done because they get soggy in the soup, and so it brings out more flavor if they're pretty well done.
That's the other thing with that pre-cooked or half pre-cooked bacon. It never gets crispy enough.
No, it's not very crispy at all. So I'm going to actually turn this off and let it sit because it'll keep going. And then I'm going to take my hot pads. I'm going to just grab that out of the microwave. And the thing about this stone, we have all kinds of stones that are all shapes, and they're fantastic. I'm just going to try not to burn myself. That's not going to happen. Take one for the team. But they keep food hot for an extremely long amount of time.
Okay.
So, which is fantastic.
Now, would it be similar to a Dutch oven in some ways?
Well, a Dutch oven you can put on the stovetop, and this you cannot put on the stovetop. Okay. But I can actually make an entire chicken in here in 30 minutes in the microwave, which whoever thought about microwaving chicken. But you can, and it's actually tender and juicy. It's amazing, and I can take it to a show. This is only covered one. This is called the deep covered baker. I call it the magic pot because you can bake a cake in here in 12 minutes. You can make a pork tenderloin in here in 12 minutes. You can bake a chicken in here in 30 minutes, all in the microwave. Like it's
That's
like
amazing.
the magic pot. So I'm just gonna
get out of
here.
your way.
Yeah.
That looks really hot.
So it is really hot, and I have put just a half cup of milk in the bottom because it steams it. This is like cooking in a clay oven. That's kind of the what it does. I'm not speaking English now. You ever seen one of these? Any idea what that might be?
To mash them? A potato masher?
This is actually not a potato masher. It's called a mix and chop, but we're going to use it to mash potatoes. We have another tool that does actual just potatoes. But this is actually for doing meat, and you can do it right in your pan, and it won't scratch your Teflon. So you know, like when you're making sloppy joe or chili or anything like that, and you're trying to break up the meat, whether it's turkey or chicken or beef or whatever, that's what this is for.
Cool.
So in this case, I'm just going to mash my potatoes, and notice that I did scrub the potatoes. I promise. I washed them first, but I left the peels on.
I like the peel on my potatoes
because it gives the soup more texture. So, and interestingly enough, as I mash this, it soaks up all the rest of the milk that was in there.
Yeah, good. So who do you like to watch on TV if you watch chefs? Anybody
I
in
really
particular?
am a big fan of the Food Network in general, but my favorite chef has to be Ina Garten. But my most used cookbook is Ellie Krieger. You know who she is?
No, I don't know who she is.
She does all like light.
Okay.
I'm always on the weight loss, you know. Yeah, I always play that game
yeah, we all
and
do.
generally lose, but you know. Okay, so I have my potatoes mashed. Okay, right when I get it clean, I'm like, no, one more. Get that in there. And I'm just going to take my cream cheese and milk. I almost said butter. And I'm just going to pour it over the top.
So you could probably mash up your potatoes as much as you prefer, right?
Yes,
I
you
mean,
can make
some
it as
people,
chunky
like my
or
husband
smooth as
does
you
like it really, really chunky, but like it's like a little smoother. So.
Well, but this isn't mashed potatoes, it's a chowder, which
Right.
chowders tend to be chunky, but yes, you can make it as smooth, as fine, or as chunky as you like. And mix this around a little bit. I'm going to, we finally shredded all of this cheese so that it will melt quickly. So if you want to mix, I will put this in, and I like that it's so finely done because it melts quicker. We are going to throw this back in the microwave just to make sure that we get everyone melted, everyone swims in the pool and is happy. I'm all about the kids in the pool, can you tell?
Back to your Ina Garten story, my son likes her too, and the reason he likes to watch her is he says every time she sends her husband to the store, he acts like, now where would the broccoli be? She says, you know this guy, it knows everything, and he just acts like he doesn't know where anything is. Have you ever noticed that?
My best recipes that I've made for like holidays, here, let me switch with you, is our Ina Garten recipes. Like my family loves it. They don't know that I'm stealing her recipe. So this is just 2 tablespoons of butter. Usually when you have a chowder recipe, usually when you have a chowder recipe, it is like made with heavy cream. This is skim milk, light cream cheese, and you can use, if you don't shred your own cheese, you can use that like 2% cheese, fat-free. Salt and pepper. It's like a teaspoon and a half of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper maybe. But I'll give you the recipe so you can put it up on your website or whatever you do.
It looks
some spice.
yummy. And I like how you can add all your own ingredients at the end, right?
Yes. So I forgot about these. I always forget something. It's like the rule. So if you want to give me back my white chopping board, move some of this out of the way.
Yeah, I think on the real TV shows with a real budget, they have people that help with this. Move your stuff around.
Or they, there's like TV magic. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to start chopping these onions, and then,
They're all done.
and then they're all done. So I'm just going to give these a really rough chop. This is our chef's knife. It's just a normal chef's knife. And so this is like an important part because it gives a lot of flavor.
So about 3.
It's about 3 onions or 4, whatever you like. Getting them on the floor. Where are my dogs when we need them?
They eat onions?
My dogs will eat anything. My dog's favorite thing is celery. Celery. What dogs eat celery? Really?
Are they thin dogs?
Actually, they are. They're old.
Celery.
Okay. So a little bit of onion in here. I cut myself. Okay, we said no blood, didn't we? Okay, so there There we go. One more mix. I think we have everything in.
Okay.
All right, that was kind of a lot of onions, but it's okay. And lid back on.
And how long are you gonna put this in for?
Just 3
a
minutes,
couple
just to
minutes?
warm it up.
Okay.
Warm up that milk and the cream cheese. I'm so glad I brought these.
I know.
'Cause these,
We have some, but they're not that durable.
they're super long so that you don't burn yourself when you're reaching in. Thank you. Okay. So, we'll take our bacon.
It's cooked and drained a little bit.
This bacon.
It's always interesting when we do these shows, the people in the hall that say, oh, it smells so good. No matter whoever uses onions and bacon, everybody always thinks something good, right?
Yeah. I usually put some bacon in, so I'm not gonna put it. It's actually good. That's in case anyone wants extra. So, you know, I can put out my little cracker tray with my little.
It's very cute.
I love these little cuties.
Mm-hmm.
Really, those are new products. I still get excited about new Pampered Chef products. I can't help it. That's why I started selling Pampered Chef. Was I couldn't afford my habit of like I need.
Well, I think
that
there are a
and
lot
that
worse
and that.
habits than.
So, I'm gonna take this leftover, what's that called, bacon, and I'm gonna put it on top of
before you serve it.
before I serve it. It
Okay.
makes it nice and pretty, and
All right.
it should be good.
Well, we're getting ready to go over to the test kitchen, and we'll try it over there and
Okay.
see how it looks on the table. It's all set up, and we'll be right back after this.